Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Inside Tulsa Athletics. I think we have a very interesting show lined up for you today. Of course, we'll be visiting with Gil Cloud, Director of Athletics for the Tulsa Public Schools, and then we're going to visit with his staff about the particular sports that they work with. And then, of course, we're going to have the head football coach and athletic director of Booker T. Washington High School, as well as two other coaches coming aboard in tennis and one in soccer. And I think you're going to enjoy some of the things that they tell us, because it's been a very, very good year for the Tulsa Public Schools Athletic Department. So stay with us. Don't go away. We're coming right back.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to tulsarefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. tulsarefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics as we welcome aboard Steve Freebus, who is the coordinator of sports medicine here at the Tulsa Public Schools. And Steve, when we take a look at what has happened in sports medicine, and I can go back to the time when we gave them salt tablets, no water, practiced them. And now, when you came along, maybe some of that was still existing, but kind of bring us up to date on what has happened and the good things that are going on.
Yeah, when I was in high school, water made you weak. It was going to make you throw up because it was going to slosh around your stomach, so you avoided that, and you just kind of, in injuries, you just sucked it up. If you couldn't play, or you had to have the coach tape you, and that was almost worse than playing with an injury because the coaches didn't know how to tape much. Yeah, we've come a long way. Concussions, well, you just kind of got your bell rung. When you felt better, just get back in there and play. But there was no, per se, time off. There's no return to learn. So yeah, we've come a long way now that we've investigated the science behind all of this, and yeah, salt tablets, and it just baffles my mind, and it's almost an exponential curve in terms of what the knowledge we know. 10 years ago, the stuff that we did, and 5 years ago, especially with concussion research and hydration and eating and stretching and things like that. So, you know, doing things to get more out of our players, but also be safe about it in terms of how much we get out of them and what we ask them to do. And, you know, sometimes people don't realize resting is every bit as important as training. And sometimes I think we swing the pendulum the other way, more, and we never give the kids the time to rest.
Well, you know, Steve, that's why I think you do such a great job, because you do know what it was like before, and you know the importance of doing it now. And then you try to bring that on to the coaches, to the players, and I think it makes a tremendous amount of difference, and positive difference as well.
Yeah, I like to say I've been on every side of the roll of tape. I've been applying it, and I've had it applied to me. And I've also been on every side of the whistle. I've been the athlete, and I've been a coach. And so knowing, you know, the psychological demands that the coach places on a player, and also what the player puts on themselves. I'm a parent of kids who have played activities, and so, you know, I know the parental pressure that can be put on kids, and so it gives me a different perspective. And not to say that I'm better than anybody else, it's just that I think, you know, having been on the different sides, you understand what the kids are going through. You understand they want to play, or sometimes they don't want to play, you know, if they're trying to meet some unrealistic expectation. And so, you know, we have to take that into mind, and when caring for the person as a whole person, not just you're my left tackle or my high jumper or something like that, that they are a person, they have an identity. Sometimes the kids wrap their identity too much in their sport and not just as a valued human being. Yeah. And that's all they need to worry about.
Yeah, I understand. Well, Steve, we talk about physicals. Now you have the plans for those coming up as well.
Yes, now that we're after May 1st, student athletes can go get their physical for next year. It had to be dated after May 1st per OSSAA regulations. So if you get into physical now, get it to your athletic director. They can now go ahead and put it into the system, and they're good to go for next year. Also, parents can start going on to our Rank 1 site, which is on our website under Attention Parents, participation forms, and they can fill out all those participation forms electronically, and they will be submitted. So I encourage everybody to do it right now, so you're all done for next year. Even if you play a spring sport, get it done now. We've partnered with OU physicians throughout their different sites around the city. If you need to call and make an appointment, but if you just say, I want to do a sports physical, $10. And if you have insurance, they'll run it through your insurance if you want to do it that way as well.
Well, you know, when you take a look at this, I think so many times that if kids put it off, then suddenly football season starts in August and they don't have the physicals, they come up. So I think what you're trying to get them to do would just make it so much better for them.
Yeah, July 15th is when, other than football, all your other fall sports can start. And it comes quicker than you realize.
Yes,
and
it
so
does.
and people think, oh, it's July 14th. Oh, need to get a physical. Good luck trying to call your pediatrician and get an appointment. And they'll say, yes, we have an appointment in October. So if you're going to go with your family doctor, which I encourage, but you need to call now because sometimes it's 2 months out before they can get an appointment. But like I said, you can call any day of the week and make an appointment at one of the OU facilities, OU Family Physicians, the Tisdale Center, the Tandy YMCA, Schusterman. You can call those. Oh, there's a new one down on Memorial, 106th and Memorial. You can call, set an appointment, $10, you're in, you're out. Pretty easy.
We just have a few seconds left, but could you make a couple of comments on what's going to happen with the new rule on the headgear?
On the headgear, for which sport are you referring to?
For football.
Or for football? I don't have all the details at the moment, but the big thing, are you referring to the different helmets?
Yes.
There's some new helmets coming out. They've gotten good scores on the testings, but this hasn't been field tested yet. So I'm going to kind of reserve judgment until we see more field testing, what real life situation type of stuff.
Well, we will do that when we start next year.
Absolutely.
Okay? All right. Enjoyed having you.
Not a problem. Thank you. Anytime.
Stay with us on Inside Tulsa Athletics. More coming up right after this.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you.
You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics as we bring aboard Jen Sanders, who is assistant to Gil Cloud as the athletic director for the Tulsa Public Schools. And Jen, when we take a look at what is going on, it seems like that tennis has just exploded here in Tulsa.
It's getting bigger, that's for sure. You know, some of the things that we've done to kind of grow the population of tennis players in our city is getting, is doing well. We've started out, using some of the USTA equipment, and we've partnered with some groups, and they're having some tennis clubs in our elementary schools. So hopefully that by the time these kiddos get to middle school, they can find a club to play with and grow as tennis players and of course as athletes, and then hopefully play in high school.
Well, how about Booker T. Washington this year in tennis? Now that had to make you proud.
They did really well. Edison, their girls made it as well. Booker T. Washington boys, their number 2 singles, they finished 8th. Their number 1 doubles team also finished 8th. That's out of 16 teams at the state meet. So we're pretty proud of those kiddos. And then, of course, their girls doubles placed 8th as well. And then, of course, Edison singles and Booker T. Washington singles fell out early, but I'm sure they learned a lot. And they, it's just an exciting opportunity to be at the state tournament and to qualify. So hopefully we'll get some more kiddos next year from Edison and Booker T, and then as well as East Central and Memorial. I know Memorial has definitely grown their tennis program this year, as well as East Central. So it's just all about getting those kids out there and teaching them the sport, and then also letting them get out and compete.
Well, it seems to me like that once a little success starts, that then it really begins to spread, and there'll be kids that as they come into senior high school, or really as they come in to middle school, that suddenly they want to become a starter. They want to become someone recognized for playing on that high school tennis team or a golf team or whatever, basketball, football, whatever.
Yeah.
And you're finding that in tennis.
Yeah, we really are. And like I said, as far as like our elementary schools, they've applied for some equipment grants, and so that those kiddos can play tennis during their physical education hour. A big part of that is teaching them the game, and then La Fortune always hosts a tennis camp, and they let our kids in, and we love it. I mean, we love the fact that our kids, are surrounded by this huge tennis community here in Tulsa, and they support us, relentlessly. And so that's the great thing about, number one, Tulsa, but also about the tennis community here in Tulsa.
It's funny, as you go by tennis courts here in Tulsa, it seems like regardless of the month that you will see kids out there playing. And I know at La Fortune, you go by there and sometimes there's kids that don't look like they're over 5 or 6 years old. The tennis racket is larger than they are, and they're playing. I think, when that kid gets to be a junior and senior, they're going to be pretty good. That's
the thing. We really need to start those kids young and offer those opportunities for lifelong sports. Tennis is something you can play even at your age, JV. So that's one of the things that we enjoy, is the fact that we can offer these opportunities to play these lifelong sports so kids can stay active their entire life.
Well, there's something else. We could talk tennis for a long time, but you have done such a tremendous job with the bike club, and I know people are always talking about it, and it is growing. And you're excited about it as well.
Well, one of the most exciting things that we do every year is at the end of the school year, the very last bike club meeting day, we take bikes to these kids and we give them a take-home bike. So they're able to then have some freedom and go out and ride on their own. So tomorrow is just all about giving these kids their new bike. They kind of get some hints that maybe they may get a bike at the end of bike club, but for the most part, it's a big surprise. So tomorrow's the day we get to take those bikes to those kiddos. We're very thankful for Humble and Sons, Jason Horton, Mike Wozniak, all those guys that help do our fundraising, so that we can offer these bikes to these kiddos. They all get a bike. They get to take their helmet home with them. And it's just an exciting time. And the biggest thing this year is our kiddos. We've sent out some flyers, and many of our kiddos are going to ride in Tulsa Tough. They're going to do the Townie ride, which is about a 5-mile ride. On June 10th, and it's free to anyone in Tulsa, so you can ride in it. But we have a few kids that are going to do that, and then we have quite a few kids that are also going to be racing. So it's really exciting to watch these kids grow.
Now, in doing this, academics plays a good role as well, doesn't it?
That's right. We actually monitor their academics, and then we monitor their attendance. And so currently we've noticed a trend where our bike club kiddos are attending school at least 5 to 7% more than our kiddos, than their peers. So, bike club's a reason to go to school. So if you're not going to school, then Mr. Mike or Jason or your faculty sponsor is going to step in and say, hey, why are you not coming to school? And, it's just building those relationships that really, really changes kids' lives, and it helps them to better themselves academically, and then, of course, gets them to school.
I agree so much with what you're saying, because so many times there are people that don't realize how that athletics in any form will create an academic interest for the kid, because now you tell them you've got to do this or you're not going to play. You're not going to be a part of it. So they do it. So I don't know why some people can't understand that, but I know that makes you happy.
Yeah, it's very great, yeah.
Okay, we appreciate you being aboard. Gosh, we could sit here and talk about this for a long time, but keep that good thing going for the bikers and for the tennis and for all of that.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We're back with more right after this.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics as we welcome aboard Mick Wilson, who is an assistant sports director here with Gil Cloud in the Tulsa Public Schools. And Mick, when we take a look at what's going on, that it just so many good things happening at this particular time of the year, and you have something coming up that is so much fun, the golf tournament.
Well, the golf tournament kind of is it's our last big hurrah for this school year and kind of a way to start looking forward to the new school year. But it's been a great year. We've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of successes. We had a lot of state champions, and hopefully we'll start fundraising through this golf tournament to start supporting some more teams for this next school year. So yes, the first Friday in June, which this year is June 1st, we always have our golf tournament, and this year's the 20th annual. So we're looking forward to a bunch more fun and a lot of good laughs and a lot of good storytelling as well, JV. You know about all that, don't you?
Yeah, that's what really, I think about this every year. The number of people that play in the golf tournament that come from different schools. And it's always so much fun to talk to someone that maybe he went to high school at McLean, maybe he went to Webster, maybe he went to Memorial, maybe Booker T, wherever he may have gone. And then suddenly they begin telling stories. And that makes that one of the most enjoyable days. And now the girls are coming. Well, they're ladies now, but when they were playing golf, they were girls. So all of that's important.
Well, it kind of changes the stories too. We have to be a little careful when you have a
Yes.
Steve Cooper or a John Phillips telling stories, because we got to make sure that the crowd is appropriate, because we do have some guys that like to have a lot of fun. No, those guys are great. Every year it's just a great time to catch up. It's really kind of like a homecoming for the entire district, because everyone comes and plays and spends time together, and it's a good day of golf. And at the end of the day, we just are raising money to help our kids. And an event like this helps us really fund a lot of our junior high athletics as well throughout the district. So it's a great day. We're looking forward to it. It's $375 a team, or $100 for individual. So we try to make it affordable, and we're going to feed you lunch and give you range balls and putting green and those kind of things. And then also throughout the round of golf, there's going to be ways to play some games. There's some double your money holes. There's closest to the pin, longest drive, like a lot of people have in their golf tournaments. So we try to do some things to keep it interesting. And then it's really a great afternoon. We come in and have registration at 11. And then we go out and they can have practice for a while, and then we eat lunch about noon, and then we'll have a shotgun start at 1. So it's a great day, and we're really looking forward to it, because, like I said, so many people come back that you haven't seen all year, and it's a good time to get caught up.
And I always enjoy it as before they tee off, everybody is basically kind of in their golf carts, but they'll be walking around a little bit, and you'll see one of them see someone that they hadn't seen in a long time. And they go over and they shake hands and they hug one another, and it just seems like that is one round of golf that no one is in a hurry, because you're visiting with so many different people. You see so many that you hadn't seen in a long time, and I think it makes it one of the most fun days that you can have playing golf.
It really is a good time, and like I said, we keep score and we award first and second and third place and things like that, but I don't think that's the most important thing. I think the most important thing is the camaraderie, the homecoming type atmosphere that we've created there, and then again, just knowing that all the money that you're contributing or spending there is helping benefit kids. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. So, like I said, it's an exciting year. It's our 20th annual, and we've done something a little different this year. We're going to go ahead and give trophies like we always have for third and second, but this year we're going to have, we've had some rings made to commemorate the 20th anniversary, and we'll give those out to the winning team. So it'll be fun, and it'll be something nice to take away from the golf tournament and feel pretty good about participating.
You know what always tickles me is because of the way some of the fairways are, that if you hit your ball out of the fairway into another one and you're over there and then suddenly here comes a foursome that you hadn't seen. So you'll stop and talk to them. No one cares that you're holding up maybe time a little bit. They don't care. They just enjoy seeing different people out and what school they went to, because every school is represented.
Yes, and you must be referring to my ball, because usually my ball's in the other fairway and not in the fairway that I'm playing. So you had to hit me there where it hurts, didn't you? So I can relate to that. But no, it's again, it's a great time. It's great for those guys to see one another, and it's really interesting to hear the stories. And it's funny that you talk about the shotgun start, because sometimes we've had to hold up the shotgun start because guys aren't out to their hole yet to tee off because they're still busy back at the clubhouse visiting. So, that's a good problem to have. But I tell you what, we've got a great group of alumni and supporters, and our corporate sponsors do a great job. A lot of our vendors through Tulsa Public Schools that have worked either in our buildings or helped work with the construction of our new gymnasiums, or our turf companies, those guys all come and support as well. So not only do you get to hear some of the stories from the old timers that have been around, but you also get to hear some of the stories from these other guys that like to entertain us too.
Well, I know one thing. That is a very enjoyable day for me. I enjoyed playing in it. Now I don't play as much, so I'll be riding around listening to some of the stories, but it is just a great day helping the Tulsa Public Schools Athletic Department. We want to encourage everyone to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Get in touch with the athletic department. Be sure and call Lisa Norman or myself here in the athletic department, and we'll reserve you a spot. If we have some people out there that are interested in sponsoring a hole or being a tee box sponsor as well, just let us know. Give us a call. We'll come out and pick up the check, or we'll come by and get signage or anything that you want to do. But we want to make this as easy as we can for anyone that wants to participate or support us.
Well, look forward to seeing you out there, and all of you who are watching today, make sure you get a hold of someone at the athletic department, and you too become a part of the golf tournament. We're back with more right after this.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, as we welcome aboard the head soccer coach at Booker T. Washington High School, Cassie Embry. And Cassie, when we take a look at what you've done, you won a state gold ball. And we can see it in the background, but that has to be for a first-year coach. That's got to be very rewarding.
It is. It's extremely rewarding. It's my first year as head coach, as you mentioned, and it's Booker T's first state championship in soccer ever.
Well, when you take a look at that, how did the kids react to that? Were they really wanting the gold ball?
Oh yeah, we were. It's kind of been since day one. My first day, I mentioned that I thought they were capable of getting it, and then every day or other day or every 3 days, I've been reiterating it, and it's kind of been our theme all year to work to get it, and we got it.
Well, you ended up 16-2 for the season, but you won 15 straight games, including the state title. Now, when you get down and start winning 13, 14, and 15, did that have any impact about thinking that that was going to interfere with winning the state title?
When playoffs started, it was difficult, but I still knew that if we played our best, we would win. Each game, we took them one game at a time. Round 2 of playoffs, we played Bishop Kelly. They're very good. They're defending state champions, and they've beat us once in the season, then we beat them, so we've kind of been playing tug of war. And we played that game. We were able to pull out a win, and so we went on to play round 3, Bishop McGinnis, also a very good team. They scored on us first. We were down 1-0. We were able to come back and win that one 3-1, and then we were able to go on and play in the state championship against Cassia Hall.
Well, when you take a look, did you feel like, and did the girls feel like, that when you started the playoffs that you were good enough to win the state?
I think we had a good feeling. I wouldn't say that we were cocky, but I would say we were confident. We knew that if we played our best, I told them you have to play your best for all 80 minutes, and I think we were confident that if we did that, we'd be able to pull out a win.
Well, Coach, kind of talk about some of the kids that you lose that played so good and helped you win the state championship.
We're going to lose 5 starting seniors. Lauren Ketchum is our keeper. She's outstanding. She held us to no goals against in districts. We didn't get scored on at all during our district games. We were 45-0. We scored 45, no goals against, like I said. A center back is Megan Fitzpatrick. She is a strong defender. Outside back, Maddie Cochran, we're losing her. Attacking center mid, Alex Walsh, who created several goal opportunities for us as that attacking center mid. Holding center mid, Hannah Roadhaver. And then we had another senior who was ill and not able to participate this season, but Jay Lewis will be losing her as well.
What do you have coming back underclassmen?
We've got several coming back. We've got our 2 outside mids, Grayson Carrington. We've got our forward, Lauren Cousins. We've got our other center back, Ashton. We've got our other outside back, Mackenzie, a holding center mid, Zoe. So we've got several coming back.
When you take a look at what you do have coming back, do you think they will come back with the same intent that the kids had for you this year?
Yeah, I think once you get one, you kind of just have a hunger all the time and you want to get more and more. I don't think it'll go away.
Well, now this was your first year as a head coach.
Yeah.
Now, do you want another one?
Yes, I just want more and more.
just one more. How did the fans, did they catch on to how good you were, and did you have good support?
Yeah, I think it was like my first week or 2 when I was kind of meeting the parents for the first time. We were communicating, and they were all on board with the gold ball kind of theme, and we've been keeping in touch after the games. They'll come up to me and tell me, only 3 more, only 2 more, just communicating, very supportive, extremely on board.
Well, when you take a look at what happened there, I keep looking at your goalkeeper, Lauren Ketchum, to shut out a team as they shut out. That's got to be very rewarding for you.
Yeah, I cannot take any credit for her. She was an amazing goalkeeper when I got there, and I don't have a whole lot of history in goalkeeping. So everything that she has is her. I can't take any credit, but she's outstanding. She plays for TSC Hurricane, and they have a keeper trainer. I'm sure she's been with them for a while, if I had to guess, just based on her skill level.
Yeah, well, in beating Cassia Hall 1-0, you had not played Cassia Hall before?
Correct. They were on our schedule, and they did not play us. And I attempted to reschedule, and that didn't work out either. So that was our first time to see them.
And your kids were ready?
They were ready.
Because I keep looking, you won, were 15-0 there after the season had started. And so many times when you get to that point, bad things happen. But obviously it didn't, and you had faith in the kids. They had faith in your program.
Yes.
And anytime that happens, you normally come out with a big W.
We did. It was a tough game. Like I said, they were very good all over the field. Their defensive line was outstanding. But we were able to get one in the first 18 minutes, Lauren Cousins, and we held them to 0. So that was what mattered.
Well, Coach, always a pleasure having you aboard. Want to wish you the very best of luck next year, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you. And let's do it after another state championship trophy, okay?
Sounds like a plan.
We're back with more right after this.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework. I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's just gotta try a little harder.
1 in 5 children struggle with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to understood.org.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics as we welcome aboard the head soccer coach at East Central High School, Connor Whittam. And Connor, what a terrible Saturday night you had going into the state finals undefeated and then losing to Bishop Kelly 3-1. But a great year for you and the kids.
Yeah, it's one of the things is we wanted to make it back to the state championship game we did last year. We lost to Bishop Kelly, and we wanted to make it back, and we did. And it's only the second time the school's ever made the state championship game. And so it's good for our program, and it's good for our kids. It's unfortunate we didn't win, but we can learn lessons in losing big games that we can apply to our lives in general, not just soccer.
You know, there's one thing that I think is so emphatic with any sport, that when you go into the final game undefeated, that is the toughest game you will ever play.
That's true. I knew it was coming. You know, everyone's trying to beat you. They want to be that one that beats you through the whole year. As your record gets bigger and bigger, they want to be the one that beats you. And credit to Bishop Kelly. I'd watched lots of film on them, and we were ready to play, and they played the best game they had played the entire year. They were physical, they worked super hard, and you could tell they wanted it. They wanted to be that one that beat us, and so it was really, really tough for us. But I wouldn't trade being 18-0 for anything, because you want to win every game that you play.
You know, I think what you said is so true, and I hope that fans, your fans, other fans realize that. But when you get into the state championship game and are undefeated, then you want to get one more. You don't want to lose one down toward the end. You want to make that 19-0 and not 18-0. And I think you just did a wonderful job, and it will come back and pay for it.
Yeah, I think we've got a lot of kids returning next year in this experience. Most of them will have played in 2 state championship games. It's going to help them. It's going to help them next year in our season. Obviously, we don't want to be talking about, next year. We should be talking about repeating, but that happens. But the thing that we're really proud of is, we don't have any kids that are recruited. We don't have kids driving from Muskogee. We don't bus kids in from anywhere in Tulsa. All of our kids live in East Tulsa. All of our kids live in our community. And so for us to be where we are in a state championship game 2 years in a row and to have an 18-1 record is big for our school, but it's big for East Tulsa and the community as a whole to see that, man, we're good at something. As a whole, as a community, we're a family over there, and that's something that we take a lot of pride in.
You know, I think that's wonderful what you're saying there, that they are East Central kids, and you obviously have some good kids coming back. Talk about some that you lose.
Okay, so I'm losing a kid, Michael Duran. Everybody called him Messi, so one of the best soccer players in the world. Everybody called him Messi. He was a 3-year starter for us, scored loads of goals, loads of assists, so we're going to miss him. He made the All-State team this year. Another kid we're losing is Jose Perez, 4-year starter for us, made the All-State team this year, our captain of our team. Those are 2 kids that we don't have ready-made replacements for. But young guys will have to step up and fill those shoes, and hopefully we get a couple freshmen in who are able to play for us right away. We're losing a kid, Josue Madrigal, just awesome kid, was hurt a lot of the season but gave it his all when he could. And then another kid, Alejandro Gonzalez, 4-year kid with the program, 2 state championships, been to the semis a bunch of times. So we'll really, really miss those guys. But the good thing is we've got a lot of young kids who are hungry because they haven't been able to play a whole bunch because we've had older kids. And so we're ready to reload, and we'll take a few weeks to kind of gather ourselves, but we're ready to go and hopefully give it a shot and give it a run again next year.
Well, you obviously have a very good feeder program. You have young kids who are playing soccer, who are coming aboard. And what you said, I think, is so important, that every one of them, they want to play on that varsity team and they want to win a gold ball.
Yeah, that's the motivation. Everybody who comes in, that's their goal. I had kids who were devastated because they couldn't suit up in the final, because you can only suit up so many kids who had worked all year, and I just, it's the luck of the draw, they didn't get to suit up in the final. And so that will motivate them to hopefully get better over the summer, come back ready, and help us next year, because we're going to need them, as we've lost a few guys.
Do your younger kids have an opportunity to play a lot of soccer games?
Yeah, so we have a JV program, and we usually schedule about 12 to 15 games a year for them. Obviously, with the teacher walkout, we missed a few of those games, but we've got some good kids, and they got a lot of games this last year, and they got a lot of experience, and chances where we are, we'll suit them up and let them play in varsity games to get them that experience as well, so that they can grow and they can learn what it's like to be in our program and have the expectations that we have.
And I know you have said this many times when we've had you on the program, that you are very interested in your kids' academic, and you force them to do well academically.
Yeah, that's true. We have two kids. One of the, Willie Mendoza, he's a junior. He's number 1 in his class, going to be the valedictorian of his class. My goalie, Jose Medrano, he's number 2 in his class. Going to have a really good chance. He's a sophomore. Going to have a really good chance if he continues his academics to be number 1 in his class. Several kids who are making 3.4, 3.5, 3.8 GPAs, and so academics is important, because that's what's going to get you somewhere far in life, not just playing soccer and your abilities. Academics is what's going to take you to the next level of where you want to go.
Well, we enjoy having you aboard, and I really support you in what you are doing, pushing them academically, and the kids are all East Central kids. And we look forward to visiting with you next year, and maybe that will be the year for the gold ball.
That'll be the one.
Stay with us. More coming up on Inside Tulsa Athletics.
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts. Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
We continue inside Tulsa Athletics as we welcome aboard the Director of Athletics for the Tulsa Public Schools, Gil Cloud. And Gil, when we take a look at what has happened this past year in athletics, the number of state champions that Tulsa Public Schools produce, I cannot think of a year that has been better than this past year.
We're going to have to do some research on that, JV, but I tell you what, it is a tremendous testament to our coaches and our student athletes to come through the kind of budget year we've had for the second year in a row, and with in the spring with a teacher walkout, which kind of disrupts your day-to-day operation of your spring sports. All the things that have happened this year to have maintained that competitive level throughout the year, with the 5 state championships and the 3 runner-ups. I mean, it's a pretty good year, and we're excited.
Gil, go over that. I think our audience, that maybe they have read about it and all this, but they just haven't heard it right down the road. The number of state champions and runner-ups.
Well, starting with football, we came in 6A2, and Coach Brad Caleb and his Booker T. Washington Hornets won the state championship. Played Bixby in the finals at Jinx, and Bixby was going for a three-peat. They thought they were going to win 3 in a row, and the Hornets played really, really well in that football game. Got behind, but never gave up, And I can tell you, it was really interesting. Toward the end of the game, me and our staff were up in the press box, and we said, you know, we need to move down the field to see if we're going to be able to punch this thing in. And we get down in the elevator and just around behind the field, can't see the field, and hear everybody cheering. And what's happened is we've gone down to the 2-yard line, and we're getting ready to score. And they did, and they scored late. And then literally toward the end of the game, Bixby drives the ball all the way down the field. I mean, they're at the 4-yard line when the game's over. So, but it was a great win, great win for Coach Caleb and his second year there, and those student athletes. And we have a number of really competitors coming back this next year for Booker T. So we'll be excited about that. We'll be excited about, you know, Booker T will be moving into the Frontier Conference. Football obviously is a district type of sport, so it won't affect that much, but we'll have some things that we're going to talk about in the next segment that will affect Booker T. Then we go to the winter, and you know, we knew that we were going to be pretty good in basketball. You know, the Green Country Conference, which basically has been the Tulsa Public Schools for the last 10 years, is always very, very competitive. I mean, you look from top to bottom, nobody really wants to play any of our boys' teams, and there's 3 or 4 of our girls' teams that are in the same boat. But this year, you know, we get into a situation where we have 5 going to the state championship at the 4A and 5A level, and we end up in the 5A with Booker T's girls winning the 5A state championship, and then in, of course, the boys' 5A final. How good can it get?
It can't get any
we
better
had Tulsa
than that.
Memorial, Tulsa, Booker T. Washington playing there. And so, you know, and as the director of athletics for the district, you always feel good because, you know, in that game you're going to win 2 balls, a gold and a silver. And, you know, that happened to us 3 years ago when McLean and Central played in the 4A state championship. Over at the Big House in Oklahoma City. That's really fantastic for our kids and for our school and for the city of Tulsa to have that happen here, you know, where we have the Booker T girls, the Booker T boys, and the Memorial boys all playing in the Mabee Center, prime time, on the last day of the tournament. Everybody wants to be there the last day of the tournament. That means you've made it to the finals. But what a great, but then we go to Edmond in swimming, and literally out of the blue, Coach Adina Milner gets her boys team, her 5A boys team, to a level that they win the state championship. And the 5A girls come in second. So we have a state champion and a runner-up in swimming. Really,
like
really
basketball.
Really, really outstanding. And then we get to the spring season, and we struggled a little bit in track and baseball, but soccer looks really, really good for us, and we make it through all the playoffs, all the levels and everything. And then on the final day, we have a 5A girls and a 5A boys playing for the championship. The Booker T girls win, and the East Central boys get beat and come in second. So that gives us our 5 state championships, 3 runner-ups. And numerous, the young man Troxel from Edison, who was an individual state champion in wrestling, who will be going to UCO. He was a state champion. And we had a number of other individual state champions throughout the various sports. So again, what a testament to our kids and our coaches to persevere through these tough economic times and stay focused on what their goals were, and that was to achieve at the highest level.
Well, I think when you go down through there, that is just, it's almost unbelievable that many teams representing the Tulsa Public Schools that could win a state championship, 5, and then 3 runner-ups. I mean, that is just unbelievable that you had that kind of success. And if we've had it in the past, my memory's not very good, but I don't remember that.
Well, you know, I've been here forever. I was gone for 18 years, but that is a good year. And again, I'm just so happy for our schools and for those kids that are involved, because the championship experience, there's nothing like it. I mean, you've been there, you know, to get to the state tournament. I served on a committee here about 3 years ago, and one of the most difficult things, we spent 2 different days trying to define what is a successful year. What is success? And we finally came up with, if you make it the final 8 to the state tournament, that's success. Because at that point, anybody can win.
That's right.
You have an injury here or a break here or there, and you may be in the finals, or you have, like happened to one of our track teams, you drop a baton and you don't even get to go to the state meet. So I mean, those things happen, and so you don't know when they're going to happen. I've always said, from a coaching standpoint, JV, that your good players usually are going to play pretty good. What makes the difference in that team that wins the state championship is you'll have that player that literally for that game plays better than they're capable of playing. And that's the person who turns the tide and makes the change and becomes a game changer.
Well, when you go back and you look at this, Gil, the fact that that many state championships, and as we've said before, I can't remember that happening before, but one thing for sure, it will carry over to next year, and those kids will want to go back and do it again, one way or the other. We need to take a time out, and then we want to come back and take a look at what's going to happen in 2018 and 2019 and see if we do follow up like we're talking about.
We hope so.
Stay with us. We're back with Gil Cloud right after this.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics as we continue visiting with Gil Cloud, Director of Athletics for the Tulsa Public Schools. And Gil, we talked a lot about the year in review. We could spend several shows on that. But let's take a look at what's going to happen in 2018 and 2019 as we go forward.
Well, we're moving forward, and we move forward very quickly. State tournament last weekend. Spring football practice starts on Monday the 14th. We start preparing for the fall season during this last 21 days of the school year. You can have 10 practices during that 21 days. And so about half our teams will start on Monday the 14th. The 2 or 3 more will start on Tuesday, and then the last one will be starting on Wednesday. And I think we're looking forward to, we've hired 2 new football coaches. We'll have a 3rd new one, probably not by spring practice because it does start today. So you're going to see a little bit of a different look in TPS football this next year. So and we're excited about that. Scott Robb will be the new coach over at Webster. Scott Robb currently is the offensive coordinator at Edmond Memorial High School, which has had a pretty good program over the years. He coached in Texas for 12 years and was the head coach at Kellyville before that, and so on. So we're excited to have him at Webster, and he's excited to be there. And he's a chemistry teacher of all things.
Oh, my goodness.
And then just recently we were recommending Willie Ponder to be the new head football coach at McLean High School. Of course, Willie Ponder spent 4 years in the National Football League, played at TU and Southeast Missouri, and is really excited about coming back to Tulsa and being a part of TPS football. So we're excited about the fall season. And then, we morph right into there with volleyball. Our volleyball's been really, really good the last 2 or 3 years, and fast pitch softball. And those actually start practice. Everything but football starts July 15 by rule. of the OSSAA. Football is the first Monday in August. So July 15, we start with all fall sports with the exception of football. August 6th, we start with football. The first 4 days are non-contact days. And then on the 5th day, which is a Friday, is our first day of full pads. The following weekend will be the 76th Grady Skellern Football Classic, and a little bit of a different twist this year because Booker T is leaving and going to the Frontier Valley Conference, and visiting with their administration. We felt that it would be better for them to go and play in the Jinx preseason scrimmage classic as a 6A school, being our only 6A school. So now we have an 8-team bracket for the preview. So it'll be pretty linear who goes and who wins and who loses and everything. And for the first time in 11 years, there'll be a different champion because Booker T will not be there, and Booker T's won 11 of the last 12. So we're excited about that. And then, we get that, the Grady Skellern, that's the 16th and 17th of August. And that is 1 week after everything starts on August 6th. Cross country, volleyball, and softball all can start their regular seasons on August 6th. Then we go to October 1st, and that's winter sports. Winter sports can start. Now we've got fall sports going, but winter sports can start their practice, basketball, swimming, and wrestling. And then the 16th of November is when they can start their regular season playing their games. That leads us up to Christmas, and of course, it's always Tournament of Champions in December. This year, 27, 28, 29 will be the dates, and with a site to be determined. We haven't. We're still negotiating with a couple of situations.
Yeah, it could be at ORU or it could be downtown.
Could be. It could be okay. We've talked to both, and we're still in that process of working through those bids. And we'll make a decision here probably in the next month so we can start preparing for that. The other thing is that all of our spring sports then, December 1 is the date that they can start. And so that's all your track and baseball and slow pitch softball, golf, tennis, and soccer. And they can all start regular practice, more than 1 hour a day, and so on. And of course, January 15th, very special day. That'll be our 7th annual Hall of Fame banquet induction. Can you believe it's been 7 years that we started this? And what a great opportunity it's been for the district to recognize some of the great people that's come through here. BOK Showcase will be in February. We do not have a date yet set. We've been at meetings with them as well to be in that realm, but we're really excited about that because I think it's going to be, they see a great value to the city of having the high school basketball teams in the BOK Center, and we see a great value for our student athletes to be able to play in a facility like that prepares them to go to the state tournament and play in bigger arenas. And of course then March 1st, our spring sports, that's when all spring sports can start playing their games. And now we get to where we are now, where we have the season ending tournaments and we get ready for the spring football in 2019.
Well, you said something that I think is interesting, the fact that fast pitch softball, actually they can start playing games when the latter part of July?
They start practice the 15th. They can start games the first Monday in August.
So they've got 2 weeks basically
2 weeks,
of practice.
Right.
And that's a program to me that is really catching fire, and more of them are playing it. And
it is, and I think and they were one of the proponents or opponents of the dead period that will go into effect in 2019, because they said we can't practice for that 2 weeks from the 1st to the 14th. We start the 15th, and 2 weeks later we're going to be playing games. Well, the thing is, those kids they're playing all summer long.
Oh, yes, they are.
They're playing on all kinds of teams and everything. So, but yeah, it's we start very early, and and the reason why we have that is that we really wanted a starting and ending date on a statewide basis. We didn't have that before. And, you know, it was basketball has always had one, winter sports, but the fall sports have not had a beginning date other than football. So we came up with this about 3 years ago at the state level, that the 15th of July would be the first day of practice for fall sports. So now we got it for fall, winter, and spring.
Well, I think once they get accustomed to it, I think that everybody would agree that that is the best way to do it.
It is. I mean, there's got to be a cutoff there. You know, we're provided in the off season an hour a day. You can have an hour a day with your student athletes. When you're in regular season, you can extend that past an hour.
Well, and also to me, when you do that, that really creates where people aren't getting an advantage over somebody else.
Exactly.
And I think everybody would like that.
I agree. You know, this is our last show for this year.
Where has time gone?
I don't know. We've just gone through it. 9 months happens pretty quickly. But I got to say this, JB, I really appreciate everything you do for the Tulsa Public Schools. A longtime host of this show, and of course Thomas Walking Stick, our producer, you know, is with us here in our spacious studios here in our office. But it's a labor of love, I know, for you as it is for me, and we really appreciate everything you do for us.
Well, Gil, you do an unbelievable job, and I would just hate to be the person that had to follow you because that's the kind of job you do. And we've run out of time.
There you go.
So again, we'll see you next year.
I'll be here.
Thanks for being with us on Inside Tulsa Athletics, and we'll catch you next fall.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff. Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Thanks for being with us today on Inside Tulsa Athletics. Hope you enjoyed the show, and more importantly, we hope that you continue supporting the athletic programs of the Tulsa Public Schools, both boys and girls, because what they do is so great for them individually as well as for their school. And we will see you again next year when we kick off the 18-19 athletic school years. Have a good summer, and we'll see you next fall.